Good afternoon to everybody. We are starting with this panel session. Welcome to everybody. We are just starting, so I like to invite to join me the people that will be engaged for this meeting tonight. First of all, I like to ask Andrea Gerini that is around. Please, Andrea, thank you, from Iveco. Take your chair where you find a place. Then we have Ilaria Rosso from Alstom. Please, Ilaria, thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. Then again, we have Andrew Murphy from BEP. Please take your chair, find your place, take your microphone. Feel free to sit where you want. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Then we have Gianmarco Boretto that is here. Hi, Gianmarco from Dumarei. Hi, please. Then we have Danilo Ceratto from Westport Fuel System. Okay, nice to meet you. Please find your place. And finally, we have Domenico Verrastro. Oh, nice to meet you, from Landirenzo. Welcome, welcome to everybody. Okay, so the idea of this session, the last of the day, is to have a focus on the new fuels, on a new way to have mobility. And there is a key word that we like to discuss today, that is hydrogen. This word is becoming very popular in the recent years. My name is Marcello Barico from the University of Turin. I'm a professor of the Department of Chemistry. And frankly speaking, I met hydrogen when I was a student, because hydrogen is the first element in the periodic table. But nobody was worrying about hydrogen at that time, at least how the people is looking to that now. But I started to play with hydrogen in industry about 20 years ago. And I saw several waves of hydrogen. Sometimes that it was very high. I like to remind that when the Olympic Games were here in Torino, we had an hydrogen bus already in 2006. Later on, I see the hydrogen going down, then going up. But what I'm used to say, that a wave high, like the wave we have now, I never seen. So we are really on the wave, we have to surf it. Okay, the idea tonight is simply to try to answer to the question that hydrogen mobility is a reality or is a dream. Everybody is talking about hydrogen mobility. We like to understand how far we are right now, and to demonstrate that there are already some activity running on. So we asked people from different levels of the hydrogen value chain. You know that we have to produce hydrogen, because hydrogen itself cannot be found in nature, so we have to produce it. Then we have to handle in some way, to compress, to transport, to store in some way. And then we have to use. People now are thinking to use hydrogen basically for three goals. The first one is to store renewable energies as an energy storage. It's not our interest tonight. The second one is for industry, what is called hard to abate. So those industries that are very, they need to be decarbonized. This is not a goal. But there is a third direction, that is hydrogen mobility. And this is what we like to discuss tonight. So the idea is to run along the way, and then to ask to the people here that are very much engaged in this direction. I suggest to start with Andrew. So the idea, Andrew, is basically to ask you, so everybody's talking about hydrogen. Where is this hydrogen? Is it really existing? Is there somebody that is producing? How your company is in some sense linked to that? The idea is at the beginning just to give an overview, and then in the second run, as I said to you, the idea is to have specific examples of what you are running in your activity. So please, Andrew.
Thank you. So I've been working in the hydrogen space, hydrogen mobility, for about 15 years now. So most people think I'm an old hand at this. But in reality, I'm actually a newcomer, because hydrogen has been used intensively for well over 100 years now. It's just that most people don't see what is happening with hydrogen. But in the region of 100 million tons of hydrogen is generated every single year. Now, a very, very small amount of that goes into hydrogen mobility currently, and the vast majority goes elsewhere. It will either stay as a mix of gases that will be used in refining, it go into ammonia and fertilizer production, so thank you hydrogen for feeding us all, or it can go into a range of different chemical processes. It's used for hydrotreating vegetable fats, so again, thank you for feeding us hydrogen. So hydrogen absolutely is produced. The industrial gas companies have become very, very efficient at producing it in large amounts over the last century, and it tends to be produced as either grey or black or brown hydrogen. So grey hydrogen, most commonly from natural gas reforming. You get about a kilogram of hydrogen and about 9.5 kilograms of CO2 produced from that. And a very small fraction of that is taken into hydrogen mobility. So a little bit of that bus you mentioned in Turin in 2006, there's hydrogen buses running in Aberdeen and London and the US and France and various places. And we are seeing an increasing demand for hydrogen mobility. So what I've personally seen in the UK, there's a lack of hydrogen for these mobility perspectives. You try and buy it, it can be very, very expensive on a per kilogram basis. So where's it all going? Well, as I say, it's going to these other uses, and people will be demanding, saying, from a mobility perspective, I want green hydrogen, and it's that lack of green hydrogen which is causing the problems for accessibility currently. There's also a lack of, in Europe, liquid hydrogen. So how do we basically fix that? Companies such as BP and other energy companies are building or planning to build many large-scale green hydrogen plants. They're not online yet. There are small green hydrogen plants, single and 10 kilowatt production. You might have 100 megawatt production top end for using for greening refineries, but dedicated green hydrogen production for mobility is something which we haven't managed to kind of get over that line yet.
Okay, so the first message is hydrogen mobility, but one of the risks is that we have a lack of hydrogen, so we need more hydrogen. This is the message.
And at the right cost.
Yes. We know that is an issue related to the cost. Maybe we come back later on this point. But the message is nowadays we have a lot of hydrogen already produced, already used in the industry. Mobility nowadays is using just a small amount, but the idea is to increase such a quantity. So where to put this hydrogen? Where hydrogen mobility is actually running at the moment? Let's start from the big trains, because there are hydrogen trains. And here we have Ilaria that is very much engaged in this issue. So Ilaria, the message is, why an hydrogen train? What is the benefit of having hydrogen in a train? What is let's say, the benefit if we compare with a standard train that are running since a while? What is the message? Ilaria.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Short introduction from myself. I'm Ilaria Rosso. I'm Project Operation Manager at Alstom Ferroviaria. I'm responsible of the project execution of the first hydrogen train in Italy. I have been working in hydrogen field since 20 years. I'm a chemist, as Marcello. And I joined Alstom 3 years ago because of this Italian hydrogen project. Why hydrogen train? Hydrogen trains are proposed as alternative to diesel trains in not electrified lines. Indeed, the project I'm working on is a project that targets construction of 6 trains to be delivered beginning next year to an Italian operator, Ferrovie Nord Milano, and to be operated in a not electrified line, Brescia-Iseo-Edolo line. This is not a niche application because we have to consider that 99% of railway lines in US are not electrified, 33% in Italy, 46% in Europe. So today, really huge, significant number of diesel trains are operated. significant CO2 emission due to this diesel train. So hydrogen trains can contribute to the decarbonization of the mobility sector. Alstom has been the first player offering hydrogen train. Since 2018, Alstom has hydrogen trains in its offer. Today, 41 trains are in commercial service in Germany after testing in different countries. The train we are developing in Savigliano site, we have already built 3 of the 6 trains to be delivered beginning next year. Our train have same performance of last generation of regional train. So 140 kilometer per hour has maximum speed, 500 passengers, 260 seated passengers.